Hello, this is Claus Jensen presenting the fifth video in my series on Aron Nimzowitsch. And the game you're about to watch is a very entertaining blitz game, which was played in the after hours during the Carlsbad 1911 tournament. And it's a highly tactical game, and throughout the video I ask you to find some of the solutions to the positions arising. And if you wish to test your tactical ability, you could pause the video and try to figure out how to continue as white. Or you could also just enjoy this extremely entertaining blitz miniature as is. The choice is yours. Aron Nimzowitsch is playing the white pieces and Dr. Tartakova is black, and we have a 4-knights game: e4, e5, knight f3, knight c6, knight c3, knight f6, bishop b5, bishop b4, castles from Nimzowitsch, and then comes knight d4 from Tartakova. And he might have hoped for knight takes e5, because then bishop takes c3 and the bishop on b5 is hanging, so bishop c4, knight e2 check, then the knight on the e5 is hanging, bishop takes e2, bishop takes e5, d5, bishop takes h2, king takes h2, and after knight takes e4. Black has a pawn, and he should be okay despite his lack of development. But Nimzowitsch didn't play knight takes e5. He played the right move, knight takes d4. And after e takes d4, he played e5. And already now we can see it's a highly tactical game. D takes c3, d takes c3, bishop e7, e takes f6, bishop takes f6, and after rook e1 check, you could try to figure out how to continue as white if black had played bishop e7 in this position, because it's not that easy to see how what the best continuation for white is. So pause the video if you want to test yourself here, but I will just continue and say that Aron Nimzowitsch, the best white move here is bishop g5. And this doesn't look promising after f6, but then white actually has a very strong continuation here. Bishop takes f6, g takes, queen check, and now white is having a very strong attack in the e file, and the e8 square is of course very vulnerable and could easily lose black the queen. So this is very good for white, and this is why bishop g5 is a strong move. Not that easy to figure out, I guess. But in the game, Tartakova played king f8, and then Nimzowitsch played bishop c4, and I think an option here for Tartakova was to play c6, but perhaps he didn't like queen d6 check, bishop e7, and then white has several continuations. One could be to sack the exchange by playing rook takes e7. I don't know if it's completely sound, but after moves like this, white has pawn for the exchange. He has very active bishops, and it's difficult for black to develop his queen side. So this could be okay for white. But Tartakova didn't play c6, and another option he had was simply to give a pawn. I think this is probably the best option, but of course not very tempting in a blitz game. He could play d5 here. Then queen takes, and then black has the queen exchange, and this is making it much less dangerous for him, but of course he has lost a pawn, and this, as I said, is not very tempting in a blitz game. So he played d6 instead. And then Nimzowitsch played queen h5. And again, Tartakova could have given a pawn. Bishop e6, bishop takes, f takes, rook takes, queen d7, rook e1, queen f7, queen b5, something like this. But again, not very tempting in a blitz game. So the natural move here is g6, and this is what Tartakova played. Bishop h6 check, bishop back to g7, queen f3. And now there's a little test for you, if you wish to do this. What would you do if black had played f6 here? You could pause the video to try to figure out what you would do as white, because white actually has a very beautiful move here. He can play rook e8 check, and if king e8, then bishop g7. The rook is hanging on h8, it cannot move, it's hanging on all squares, and we have rook e1 check in the air. We have bishop takes f6, very strong attack for white. And if queen takes e8, then we have an even stronger continuation. Queen takes f6 check, queen f7, queen takes f7, checkmate. So after f6, then rook e8 is a very strong move. The best defense for Tartakova in this position was probably bishop f5. Then queen d5 with a mate threat on f7. Queen has to defend this threat, but then simply taking a pawn here and exchange here, and then take another pawn, being 2 pawns up. Not very exciting, but clearly winning for white. So back to this position, and here Tartakova played queen d7, and then came queen f6, which is a very nice move, taking advantage of the pinned bishop. And of course here, if bishop takes h6, then queen takes the rook with checkmate, because of the white rook in the e-file. So rook g8 was forced here. And then you could pause the video and try to find a winning move for white. In fact, there are 2 winning moves here, and you could pause the video and try to find at least one of them. In the game, Nimzowitsch played bishop takes g7, and after rook takes, then you could again try to pause the video and find a move that made Tartakova resign the game. So again, pause the video and try to find the right move. The right move here is bishop takes f7, which made Tartakova resign in view of rook takes f7, then queen h8, checkmate. Or if queen takes, then there's a checkmate here on e8. And if he plays something, a nothing move like h5 for example, then there's a discovered check. And if queen goes in between, then again we have this checkmate on e8. And if rook goes between, then we have this checkmate on h8. So in this position, bishop takes f7 was the right move. But one move before that, let's go back. I said there were 2 winning moves, and the one winning move was of course bishop takes g7, as was played in the game. But even more decisive, mates a move or 2 earlier, was in this position actually bishop takes f7. So if you found that move, then you were absolutely right. Again, we have the same mating patterns. If bishop h6 here, then we have a discovered check on g6. Queen has to go between, and there's a checkmate on f7. Or if queen takes, then we have this checkmate on e8. And a third option, if black goes queen d8 instead, then again a discovered check here. And when queen takes on f6, we have the nice rook e8 checkmate. So let's go back again. In this position, the right move was actually bishop takes f7, because it makes a move or 2 earlier than the move that was played by Nimzowitsch, which was bishop takes g7. But it's of course all academic, because white was winning in any case, and the game went bishop takes, rook takes, bishop takes f7, and Tartakova resigned the game. And I hope you enjoyed this very nice and highly tactical blitz game played some evening, I guess, during the Carlsbad 1911 tournament. And be prepared for more Nimzo videos from me. And till then, bye bye for now.